as I saw her lying in my arms. My heart shattered. I had only wanted to keep her close, but now she's far away from me. And it was all my fault. My name is Akila. I've had a strange gift for as long as I can remember. If I slept with a woman, she will get a husband. Strange, isn't it? Word spread quickly and many women sought me out, hoping to end their loneliness. I never asked for this power, but it became my reality. In my village, everyone knew about me. They called me the Matchmaker. Women would come to my door desperate and pleading. They would cry, beg, and offer me gifts. I was always careful, always respectful, and never took advantage of any woman who sought favor from my strange gift. I saw myself as a helper who could bring others joy. After a while, my gift became a problem in my village. The young married men became jealous of my gift. It became impossible for them to believe that their marriages to the Medians were not orchestrated by my gift, and by implication, I had slept with their wives. Thus, a campaign against me began. They started to urge eligible bachelors in my village not to marry any woman around or near my village. But their ploy didn't work. The force that radiated from my gift was too powerful to fight against. The young maidens that came to me ended up marrying the same men who were advised not to get married to them. The ploy against me intensified when the male folk decided to mob and ostracize me from the village. They had a meeting where the decision was made to humiliate me by stripping me naked and parading me all over the village. I had a close friend, Timo. He was in the meeting when the decision was made. That day, he quickly ran to my hut.
Akila, you have to leave this village this very moment,
he said urgently. Why? I asked.
No questions,
he replied.
Just pack whatever you can lay your hands on and run. The youths are coming to humiliate you.
From the distance, I could hear the chants of the youths coming towards my hut. I quickly took a different route from my house and moved away to another village. In my new environment, I concealed this strange gift from everyone and avoided women. But fate always had a surprise for me. One fateful day, I saw her. Nelo. Nelo was different. She was carrying a basket of fruits at the market that day. I tried not to maintain eye contact with her, but her laughter was like music, and her smile numbed all the defenses I had against associating with women. I was drawn to her immediately. I knew I couldn't resist her, so I ran from the market. I sat for several days in my hut, thinking about Nelo. I was scared of rekindling my gift again, knowing the effect it had on people in my village. But then, the greatest fear was losing her to another man, because if we had any form of encounter, she would leave me for another man. It was an inevitable outcome. So, one evening, as the sun was about to set at the horizon, I went to the bank of the village river to have a quiet time with myself and reflect on what the future held for me. I was a blacksmith. I made farm implements for farmers back in my village, but here in this town, they were mostly traders who bought food from neighboring villages, so it was very challenging to eke out a living. Surprisingly, that wasn't my problem. My problem? Nelo. I could see her face any time I closed my eyes to sleep. Everywhere, in my forge, at the market, and in my soul. As I sat at the bank of the river looking beyond what my eyes could see, a shadow enveloped me.
This part of the river is for the women,
the voice echoed. I turned, and behold, Nelo stood behind me, poised to get into the warm river. My heart raced. and then missed a beat. Having met uncountable women, never had I experienced such feeling before. I choked as I wanted to say a word, but she beat me to it.
He doesn't talk either.
I melted within myself. I had to say something. My apologies, my lady. I'm new in town, so I do not know the rules. Pardon my ignorance. I'll leave immediately.
Oh, no, you can stay and watch me swim.
She suggested as she let her dress drop from her body. Oh. My eyes had never beheld such bodily beauty in all my escapades with women. Her beauty was painful, such that could only be inflicted by the goddess of beauty herself. For a moment, I felt that the goddess had sent her to torment me, but then she tapped me on my shoulders, let out a smile that sent butterflies off my stomach, and then dived into the river. I sat transfixed as I watched this angel swim, but it was more like she was swimming in the rivers of my soul. In an instant, she raised her hands like one drowning. I gave it no thought as I dived into the river, but she was gone under the water. I panicked and swam around to look for her. Suddenly, something pulled my legs and I turned. There she was, laughing mischievously.
It's a great Canal River can never take an indigent so I was only messing with your head.
Her words relieved my soul, and the blissful moment came when our eyes locked for a long while, and in an instant, she kissed my soul away. And I was lost in the euphoria of billions of sensuous currents that faded the moment away. But then, we heard the giggling of other maidens coming the way of the river.
You'll be in trouble if you are seen on the female side of the Canal River.
She gasped, and in a split second pulled me down into the river.
So what's your name?
She asked. I resurfaced from underwater to take a deep breath and answered, Aquila. I went back underwater and heard her voice as she said softly,
My name is Nelo.
I swam underwater to the other side of the river. She turned and saw me as I swam out and waved her goodbye. After that encounter, we began to spend time together. We talked, laughed, and shared our dreams. For the first time in my life, I fell in love with someone, and for what it was worth, she loved me. But my fear lingered. I knew that if we slept together, she would find another man. The thought of losing her was more piercing than a stab from a dagger, so I kept my distance. We would kiss, hold hands, and share intimate moments, but I never went further. Nelo was confused and hurt. She didn't understand why I was holding back, and I couldn't explain. How could I tell her about my curse without sounding insane? After a long day in my forge, hammering metals on the anvil, I found Nelo waiting for me. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she looked exhausted.
Aquila, why would you? Don't you love me?
She asked, her voice trembling. I couldn't hold back any longer. I told her everything. I told her about my curse of a gift, the women, the marriages, and my fear of losing her. She was silent for a long time and then took my hand.
I don't care about your gift. I love you. No matter what.
Then let's get married, I told her, excited. That way, no man would want to marry a woman that was already married. That night, under the stars, it was beautiful and perfect. For a moment, I felt truly loved. But the next morning, before we could start planning for our wedding, I woke up to the greatest surprise of my life. As I led her out the door, we saw her younger brother, Tuku, at the door. Nelo, Papa is asking for you. Some suitors just came for your hand in marriage. His words hit me like a tornado. I exchanged glances with Nelo. This was the fastest reaction of my gift on any woman I had ever met. Nelo urged her brother to go home, that she was right behind him, while I paced around. I told you, I snapped. I can't afford to lose you.
Let's run away.
Her answer gave me the shock of my life. She was still in love with me. The gift always killed whatever affection the other women had for me once it was set in motion, but here, Nelo was still in love with me. We ran with nothing but ourselves. We meandered through the forest, seeking shelter anywhere away from her village, but Nelo became weak after each passing hour. Before long, she was dying, that we had to stop. It became clear to me, I'm not meant to love or be with anyone. Nelo was weak and barely able to speak.
I kill her. I love you.
She whispered. My gift is killing you, my love. I told her with tears in my eyes.
I'd rather die than live without you.
I can't let you die, I replied.
I can't live without you.
We bantered on until she got tired, closed her eyes and lapsed into a deep sleep. I knew I had a very big decision to make. Keep her with me and let her die, or walk away for her to leave. I had to do something. I carried her back to the village and laid her in my hut. I kissed her on the forehead and ran. In the forest, as I ran, I could hear her voice as she screamed my name.
I kill her! I kill her!
She had woken up without me by her side. I stopped and listened to her voice.
I kill her! I kill her!
And then continued running. And I haven't stopped running. I kept moving away anytime I heard she was looking for me. Hiding me wasn't difficult for her because I still helped women find husbands. But I keep my heart closed. I vowed never to allow myself to love again. And my life became a constant reminder that even gifts can become curses. And love can bring both joy and unimaginable sorrow.